Good afternoon and welcome to the Rotary Club of Madison. I'm your president, Jason Ilstrip, and thank you for joining us today. Please remain standing for our opening patriotic song. Chad Bartell will lead us in singing of America the Beautiful, accompanied by Michael Richmond on the keyboard. Then they will sing us the song Home for the Holidays. Hello, Chad. How are you?
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. All right, here's to hoping everybody gets to spend some time with their and be very close to their loved ones this holiday season, even if it's just by Zoom. Oh, there's no place like home for the holidays, 'cause no matter how far away you roam, when you pine for the sunshine of a friendly gaze, for the holidays you can't beat home, sweet home. I met a man who lives in Tennessee, whose head is for Pennsylvania and some homemade pumpkin pie. From Pennsylvania, folks are traveling down to Dixie's sunny shore. From Atlantic to Pacific, gee, the traffic sure is terrific. Oh, there's no place like home for the holidays, 'cause no matter how far away you roam, if you want to be happy in a million ways, for the holidays you can't beat home, sweet home. For the holidays you can't beat home, sweet home. All right, thanks everybody.
Well, two thoughts there. You know, you hear these holiday songs and you just never know the lyrics. I never knew that song talked about traffic. And second, Rebecca Redmann, our speaker today, you have a wonderful voice. I think you should join Rotary, and first thing, join the music committee. You're welcome, Robert. He's not even listening. He's not even listening to me today. All right, today we want to thank our sponsor. Our sponsor is a great downtown organization, Grunwald, in the honor of the Overture Center for the Arts 20th anniversary. Overture is a yes, exactly. Overture Center is a nonprofit arts organization that features 7 state-of-the-art performance spaces and 4 galleries where national and international touring artists, 9 resident companies, and hundreds of local artists engage with people in 500,000 educational and artistic experiences each year. 40% of those experiences are offered through the Overture Center's free or low-cost programming, like the Lullaby Project, to provide opportunities for people of all ages to enjoy the arts. Let's give a huge thanks to Emily Grunwald for her support for today's luncheon and all they do for downtown. I mean, speaking of free projects, there is nothing better than a Saturday morning and spending it with your kid at Kids in the Rotunda, especially in the winter. If you ever get a chance, take your kids. All right, guest introductions. Laura Hicklin is here to introduce our guests. Hello, Laura. How are you?
All right, good afternoon and welcome all guests to Rotary Club of Madison. When I say your name, please rise, remain standing until all names have been read, and we will recognize you as a group at the end. First up, Helen Bryan, guest of Al Bryan. Eduardo Castro, guest of Areli Estrada. Araceli Esperanza, guest of Areli Estrada. Sylvia Gomez, guest of Aurelie Estrada. Shadera Kilfoy Flores, a guest of Aurelie Estrada. Jiwon Pak, guest of Craig Atwood. Maria Turigaga Deislin, guest of the EIE Committee. Marshall Kusek, guest of Ellis Waller. Rachel Bledsoe, guest of Jason Ilstrup. Steve Mintz, guest of Jason Ilstrup. Kevin Kirkland, guest of Lynn Sexton. Ashley Karakowski, member of Madison After Hours Rotary. Aaron Lucan, also member of Madison After Hours Rotary. Jane Schirmer, guest of Maria Hyde. David Agayo, guest of Oscar Morales. Christian Alburas, guest of Oscar Morales. Justice Castaneda, guest of Oscar Morales. Mark Frere, guest of Oscar. John Gramling, guest of Oscar. Kevin Herrera, guest of Oscar. And Armando Ibarra, guest of Oscar Morales. Thank you all for attending.
I don't know. I was all proud of myself. I had 2 guests. Let's give a huge round of applause to Aurelie and Oscar for bringing half the room today. All right, it's time for the fund drive, and also known as the fund drive. Sarah Eskridge will be here to give us an update. Last week, I thought you were supposed to be here. I didn't read my script correctly, and here you are today, live and in person. Sarah, the mic is yours.
Thank you. Jason was just so sad that I wasn't here that he accidentally introduced me. So really happy to share that as of yesterday, 206 of you members have made a gift. That's almost 50% of our club. Yay. Yay. And we've raised, this is the even more yay part, we've raised almost $100,000 of our $140,000 goal. Yes. So that is 70%. Thank you so much to everyone who has contributed so far. I was joking at my table that I am so excited to remind the other 50% of you who have not contributed yet that Jane had to hold me back from contacting you all over Thanksgiving to remind you. You will get your reminders this week, though. And if you don't remember, I will follow up with you, and we will have a special conversation and follow up one-to-one. So please, please, please contribute. As you know, we're focusing on impact, and we are focused on education grants. And we've been really lucky to spend some time each meeting highlighting our excellence in education grants. So this week, we're going to do the same. We're going to hear about One City Schools. And so for that, Nicole Bice is going to come up from our Excellence in Education Grant Committee to the podium and tell us a little bit more about this grant, and you'll be able to learn more and make sure that your contribution that you will get in, 50% of you, soon, you'll know what a great impact it makes. Thanks so much.
You can always tell the short people when they have to grab the microphone. Our Madison Rotary Foundation is pleased to be providing a grant of $25,000 to One City Schools. This grant will expand their volunteer tutoring program, which will help students make measurable progress towards grade level proficiency. One City Schools has a brief video message, so let's watch that now.
I wish that I had this kind of school when I was younger. It's different from any place I've ever been. It's not like a school where we're just teaching them math or English, like we're teaching them how to be little people. One City makes it possible for scholars to be their best selves in the future.
Our habits of character are the heart and energy of One City.
Instilling these habits of character in our students and them hearing it over and over again helps them to think about who they are and who they want to be.
My favorite habit of character is compassion. Instead of being selfish, you should be selfless, so you can put yourself in other people's shoes. Self-respect, something I've learned about that is not give up on myself, not say bad things about myself.
We did a lot of this school year. You have to be able to speak up a lot. a lot.
I like persistence a lot because it's like encouraging you to keep doing what you're doing and to like keep learning and not to give up.
The reason why I think integrity is the most important is because it's important to know that that person can trust you, and it would build a base so that other people can trust you.
The school helps students grow to be more responsible, take accountability for my actions.
What we really are trying to foster is scholars who are making the right decisions for themselves. Ultimately, that is what's going to help them be better citizens in the world, better colleagues, better community members, because they're doing the right thing out of integrity, not just because they're afraid of what a consequence might be or because the adult is expecting them to do it.
The kids love to come to school here. You hear them on Mondays saying that they're grateful to be back at school.
One City is a great place.
One City Schools' journey began with just 6 children in the basement of a church and 2 paid employees. It now serves nearly 500 children across 3 schools. One City's student population includes 90% children of color, 70% from low-income households, and nearly 20% with special needs. As an independent charter school authorized by the Universities of Wisconsin, One City is committed to working openly with other schools and districts, sharing strategies to expand their impact, and serving as the lab school. They're very fortunate to have a strong group of volunteers who assist in all areas of the school, including 20 who have trained in science of reading methods, who are working closely with students, teachers, and families to accelerate progress. These volunteers specifically support the tutoring program that we've supported. One City students are thriving. Elementary school growth scored 84.9% on the Department of Public Instruction report card, and middle school report card showed a growth score of 86.9%. These numbers reflect the dedication of staff, students, and community, and show what can be done to move the needle in education with supporters like Rotary. They asked me to say a big thank you on their behalf. Today we have Kaleem Kerr, founder and CEO, Maria Dislin, Chief Academic Officer from One City Schools, in our audience today. Will you please stand? If anyone has any questions about One City, please stop by and talk with them after today's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Sarah, as well. I think we're inviting you back up. It says, yes, come on back up, my friend. Or no? Not yet. All right. I read it again beforehand. Yep. All right. Did you know that we have a video recording volunteer in a committee? Well, there's a lot of people that are behind that. And it's not just to catch all of my errors, like the one that just happened. Paul Winola is going to come up and give an update about what's happening with the committee. Paul chairs our video recording committee. Come on up, Paul.
Good afternoon. Today I'm excited to talk about the important work of our video recording subcommittee and how you can help us make a difference. As the chair of our club's video recording subcommittee, I'm proud to say that we are responsible for filming, editing every speaker we invite to our weekly luncheons. We archive all the videos on the Rotary Club of Madison's YouTube channel, making it easy for our members to watch or re-watch any presentations that they might have missed. We also share these videos with anyone that might be interested, and we've even heard that smaller Rotary clubs in the Madison area have shown our archive videos at their meetings. Pretty cool. So by joining the video recording subcommittee, you'll have the opportunity to develop new skills, meet new people, and gain experience in video production. You'll be also contributing to the success of the Rotary Club in helping us to share our messages of service and goodwill with others. So if you're interested in joining the video recording subcommittee, please see me after today's luncheon or email the Rotary Club office. We'll get you trained and ready to go. and you'll be making a real difference in our community. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Well, thank you, Paul. I didn't realize this is going out worldwide. I need to pick up my game. All right. Today we have a very special award presentation. We are awarding this year's Rotary Club of Madison Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Award. Before we present the award, let's bring up Oscar Morales, a member of the Member Recognition Committee, who will come forward to tell us about this important award. Welcome, Oscar. Hey!
I do first want to say that I was a founding member of One City Learning Board for 3 years, and I really appreciate the growth they've done over the last 10 years. In 2015, our club was the first large Rotary club to establish a diversity, equity, and inclusion committee. Our strategic plan states that we will achieve diversity, equity, and inclusion through recruitment, education, member engagement, and community service. It's an overarching theme that guides all we do as a club for our members and for our community. Last year, we created a Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Award to recognize a member whose commitment helps in advancing those guiding principles. Juan Jose Lopez, who passed away in 2023, would have been a valid candidate for this award. During his 26 years of membership, he served on our club's board of directors, on the foundation board of trustees, and he chaired our scholarship committee. Juan, as you know, was a strong advocate for promoting inclusivity and creating change in our community. As we recognize a member with our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Award, this year we will add Juan Jose Lopez's name to the title. I will now call Sarah Eskridge again, co-chair of this year's DEI committee, to the podium. Come on, Sarah, let's give her a big round of applause.
Well, thank you, Oscar. It is such an honor to be able to present for the first time, right, the Juan Jose Lopez Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Service Award at our club. I'm also very pleased to say that this year's recipient is Scott Strong. Yay. As many of you know, Scott is the executive director of Rise Wisconsin. He joined our club in 2008. Scott's been a really active member and leader in our DEI committee for 8 years, and he co-chaired it for 2 years. He's led DEI sessions at Rotary Tri-Con events. He's also served on our club's board of directors as Sergeant at Arms and is a longtime member and past chair of our Youth Awards Committee. I was personally really privileged to join the DEI committee and join our club when Scott was leading this committee, and have just been so grateful for his leadership, advice, sometimes really soft coaching and level-headedness in these challenging and really, really important conversations. So I can't think of a better awardee for this year than Scott. For that reason, we are pleased to present him with our 2024 Rotary Club of Madison Juan Jose Lopez Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Award. And we thank you, Scott, for continuing to help us advance the success of our committee's work. Scott, if you could please come forward. President Jason will present you with a certificate of our appreciation for your leadership.
On behalf of the club, congratulations, Scott, for all you've done for our community and for our club. Thank you very much. All right, President Spotlight today is the Rotaract organization. For those who don't know what Rotaract is, it's basically Rotary for 18 plus members, 18-year-old and plus members. And we have an outstanding Rotaract club at UW that does excellent work. A huge thanks to Alex Vatani, who helps lead that effort. I went a month or so ago. The room was packed. There had to have been 60, 70 folks there, all learning about Rotary and everything that we have to offer. It's an excellent organization. And today, we are honored to have one of their most recent past presidents with us and a recent graduate of UW-Madison, who's going to talk about her Rotary experience and what she's doing in the After Hours Club and how we can help get more young people like Rotaract members into our club. Ashley, come on up.
They weren't kidding about this mic being tall for short people. So yes, first of all, thank you, Jason, for giving me the chance to speak with all of you today. It's an absolute honor. So as he mentioned, I am a member of Madison After Hours, and I'm super excited to be here today and invite all of you to our second annual Kids Against Hunger meal packing event. It is scheduled for Saturday, February 22nd from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at First Congregational Church in Madison. And last year, thanks to incredible volunteers just like you, we packed over 25,000 nutritious meals for underserved families and communities in northern Wisconsin. So this year, we're setting our sights even higher, and we'd love your help to make it happen. So whether it's volunteering your time or making a donation, every contribution truly makes a difference. And you can find all of our details and sign up on our website. It's Madison Rotary AH for After Hours .org. And before I wrap up, I also would like to take the opportunity while I'm here to encourage you to recommend Rotary After Hours to some of your younger colleagues. It's truly a wonderful group of vibrant young professionals who truly want to give back without interrupting their work days, or some that are students like me that are trying to get a start out in the world and learn from incredible tenured Rotarians. So it's a vibrant, engaging, and great way to grow networks, leadership skills, and community connections. So thank you for your time. And once again, our website is madisonrotaryah.org. And you can find our calendar of events, contact information, and sign up to help pack meals for us, or with us, for Kids Against Hunger on February 22nd. Thank you.
Yes, I think we should find a way to support our fellow Rotaractians. Rotaractians? That's not a word, is it? Our fellow Rotarians, the other clubs throughout our community, and support our community. So let's get more young people involved in Rotary. All right, birthdays. We have birthdays to celebrate with some wisdom and some humor to complement Rotary's mission. We encourage all of our members to make a gift to the foundation community grants endowment fund that represents their age, rounded up to 100 for the Synergy Scholarship Fund on December 8th. Kay Swichtenberg. On December 8th, Ken Yuska. On December, did I say September? I think I did, didn't I? Yeah, I did. It's definitely December 8th, Ken Yuska. December 10th, Cedric Page. December 11th, past President Charles McLymans, who says, this year, for my birthday, I have rounded up to 100 and have made an additional gift of $100 to the Synergy Scholarship Fund in honor of Lou Harned's centennial year. I encourage all other members to do the same. December 11th, Mary Rouse, and December 12th, Jen Savino. Thank you to all of our celebrants for your contributions to the Madison Rotary Foundation Community Grants Fund. Please join me in wishing them a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. Thank you, Michael. On to our program. program. Last Monday, we held our monthly board meeting, and I encourage members to review the minutes on our board's website for a members-only document section to see what we were up to. We want our members to see our current board members, so we ask one of our board members to introduce a speaker each month. This month, Mike McKay will make the introduction. Mike is a third-generation Rotarian and former member of the Rotary Club of Fort Wayne, Indiana, and where he served on their board and as president. He joined our Rotary Club in 2012, and he's the Director of Planning, Design, Construction, and Real Estate for UW Health. Mike will come to introduce today's speaker. Mike, thanks for all your service.
Good afternoon, Rotarians. It is my honor today to be introducing our speaker, who today is Rebecca Redmann, who you've probably heard singing wonderfully, despite sitting next to somebody who can't sing. Rebecca is an experienced music educator and coordinator. She is the teaching artist coordinator and lead teaching artist at the Overture Center for the Arts. As you might suspect, she earned a Master's of Music in Vocal Performance from UW-Madison and a Bachelor of Music from Lawrence University, while also gaining teaching experience as a graduate assistant and lecturer at both UW-Madison and the University of Akron. Today, Rebecca will be talking with us about the Lullaby Project, which uses a creative process of songwriting to help new and expectant parents express their hopes, dreams, and future through music. We look forward to your presentation today, Rebecca, and in your honor, we've made a contribution to the Rotary International Polio Plus Fund as a way to say thank you for speaking with us today. I'm supposed to remind the audience that we will have Q&A as time permits, but wait for the microphone. I believe President Jason will be running around the room with that. And with that, let's welcome Rebecca Redmann to our podium.
Thank you very much for having me here. I'm really pleased to be able to be here and share with you about the Lullaby Project. The first thing I want to do is just introduce myself. I know that I was just introduced, but my name is Rebecca, and I do work over at the Overture Center, and one of the two projects that I largely work with is the Lullaby Project. The Lullaby Project sits within our Education and Outreach Department, and it is part of our goal. Sorry, I forgot I was supposed to be advancing my own slides. See? This is something that I'm not used to. There we go. So it's part of our mission for arts engagement at every age. So, and the Lullaby Project sits at the very beginning of this trajectory because the Lullaby Project is our commitment to babies even before they're born, having a high-quality artistic experience. And you can see that we at the Overture Center are committed to high-quality arts experience at every stage of life, and the Lullaby Project itself uses the creative process of songwriting to help new and expectant parents express their hopes and dreams. And you might be asking yourself, well, how does that work? And I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty of how that all works. But one of the things that we do is we pair local singer-songwriters with families. Families who have recently had children, families who are expecting children. We work with community partners to find the families that we're working with, and we sit with them for a certain number of hours, sessions, where we then write songs for their situations. And we guide them through every step of the process, including recording the song for them at the end of their sessions. And this process supports parental health, it aids with child development, and it also helps strengthen the bond between parent and child, which we are very strongly in favor of doing. And that is one of our primary goals for the project. Why do lullabies matter? Just as I am sure that none of this is going to be new information to anybody sitting in this room, but lullabies matter because music engages the whole child. It engages the whole person. It encourages relationships between the caregiver and the child. It enhances communication skills. Music enables children to regulate their emotions and share feelings. And music is enjoyed by families and fosters togetherness, which then brings us back to the idea of strengthening that bond between parent and child. And it helps families come together to express a shared joy, which we, again, are very strongly in favor of. I wanted to share some music with you today because I think that the music that we create speaks louder sometimes than the words that I can say to you about all of the wonderful things that we do. And I realize that we're in a situation in this room right now where you may not be able to hear the ukulele that I'm about to play, but trust me when I say that the accompaniment isn't what matters here. So I'm going to share a song that was written as part of the Lullaby Project. And as I do, you'll hear some very specific references to a certain family's situation. And these words were written by the family, and on the recording that we made for this family, the mom actually does sing the song, but I'm gonna share it with you right now. So it's called Love Comes Easy, and I'm gonna just share the song. I'm sorry if you can't hear the ukulele, but I promise I'll sing loud enough that you'll all hear. We brought you home, we were obsessed. Hearts and home became a mess. We're overwhelmed by love and joy. Can't take our eyes off you. Laundry piles, we drove for miles with you crying in your car seat. Tiny clothes, look how you've grown. Oh, how fast the time is flying. It isn't easy, but love comes easy. It's not always easy, but love comes easy. Life isn't easy, but loving you is easy. Your diaper's full, we feel the pull to pick you up again. Toys everywhere, snacks packed with care, and we're laughing, talking, smiling. It isn't easy, but love comes easy. It's not always easy, but love comes easy. Life isn't easy, but loving you is easy. Now I'm gonna pause because I'm gonna advance my slide. Taking in the moments, both chaos and bliss. We'll be there for every scream, hug, cry, and kiss. Work all day so the bills are paid. Make a safe and happy place. Getting it done, thinking of our sons with a smile upon our face. It isn't easy, but love comes easy. It's not always easy, but love comes easy. Life isn't easy, but loving you is easy. We're never sure just what you will do, but you're teaching us each day. And learning together has never been better, so we have got to say, it isn't easy, but love comes easy. It's not always easy, but love comes easy. Life isn't easy, but loving you is easy. We know it's not easy, but love is easy. You're never caught up, but caught up in you. We never knew how our love would come so easy. So easy. So easy. You should never look up while you're singing. Thank you. So let me get back on track. So that's an example of one of the songs that we wrote with a family. But let me give you just a little bit of a trajectory of Lullaby Project. So you can see on the screen, Lullaby Project is an outreach of Carnegie Hall. It started in 2011 between a partnership with Carnegie Hall and a medical center called Jacobi Medical Center. And the goal of the project was to sit with, at the time, they were working primarily with mothers, sit with women as they were waiting at the medical center for their appointments. Sit with them and talk about the problems that they were having, the stresses that they were encountering, the challenges that they were facing, and organize those thoughts into a song that could help them think about the future that they were about to have with this baby that they were expecting. And Lullaby grew out of that project, and over time has expanded well beyond New York City. By the time Overture Center joined as part of the Lullaby Project in 2019, I think there were about 20 Lullaby sites throughout the nation. And we picked up in 2019, right in time for the world to shut down. But we did get the project up off the ground. We partnered with Harambe Village Doulas, and we followed the model that Carnegie had set forth, and we were working with women who were expecting babies. And we were able to get songs written and produce an album right before the shutdown. So it was really amazing. And then in 2020, like everyone, we flipped to a fully virtual model, and that changed our process significantly. We partnered with Madison Public Schools through their parenting program at Capitol High, as they were also flipping randomly into this virtual online world that we were all experiencing. And what was so magical about that time, even though we didn't feel at the time like being online and writing songs online was a great and fun thing to do, we learned that some of the girls that were attending this parenting program, they often struggle with attendance, as you can imagine, for a variety of reasons. And their teacher said that during the pandemic, they had better attendance when Lullaby Project was in the room, so in the virtual room. They came to sit with the songwriters. They came to talk with the songwriters. They came to school because of Lullaby Project. And that's the reach and the impact that we want to have. So we were really proud to be able to do that. And we continued to grow our project by partnering with Unity Point Meritor Baby Hour the next year. We were still fully virtual in 2021, but we converted our model that we had at the high school, working with adults in the Meritor Baby Hour. And by 2022, we had written over 50 lullabies for local families, which I think is just absolutely amazing to be able to see. And then last year, we partnered with Madison Public Library to do a little bit of a test pilot program to do group lullabies through Madison Public Library's partnership with Dane County Health. And that was a really amazing experience because we got to see some of the people that we had worked with at Capitol High who were coming through with Dane County Public Health for more support. And so we could kind of build that bridge as they were out of school into something new, which was really amazing. And then this year we hit 100 lullabies. So I'm really proud of the number of families that we have worked with in Madison, that we have worked with. Right now, I think our playlist is 116 songs long. So that's 116 families who have written lullabies. Yeah, I think that's amazing. And in 2025, we know that we're planning our third studio album release, and so we are looking to the future to do more and reach more families. This is just a little bit of a snapshot of what our year looks like. In September, we bring together our team. We train new teaching artists. Teaching artists are those singer-songwriters that are going out and working with families. We brought 5 new teaching artists on board this year, so we now have 13 singer-songwriters on our team who work with families. It's an amazing group of super talented people. And then we have different residencies with our community partners. As you can imagine, we don't just put a advertisement out in the world and say, anybody who wants to write a lullaby, come, because we wouldn't have that many people to do it. We wouldn't have enough teaching artists. We work with community partners, and we have a residency with Unity Point Meritor Baby Hour. We have a residency at Capitol High, which is ongoing right now. And then we go into the recording studio. We choose a handful of songs each year to have professionally recorded. We invite the families to come into the studio with us, and we encourage them to sing with us if they are willing. And we also encourage them to record dedications. They may speak a dedication at the beginning of their song, a little bit of a love letter to their baby, if you can imagine that. And they're just charming, so I'll give you a link to that playlist. And then we wrap up our year with a live performance at Kids in the Rotunda. We're usually the last performance of the Kids in the Rotunda season, and we invite families to come and participate. We invite them up on stage with us, we get them singing, and we have a little celebration and a lunch for them on that day. And then we have a few more families that we work with in May. And you can see we've got a couple of other expansions on the horizon. We're hoping to expand our partnership with the public library. We are also exploring the idea of a community songwriting day so that we're working with people in the community who would like to write a song but maybe aren't working with one of our community partners. And we are piloting this year a program that we're calling right now My Melody, and it's going to be working with families who are experiencing early stage dementia. We'll be sitting with folks who have been diagnosed with an early stage dementia and their caregiver or some other support to write a song with them in the moment that they're in. So whatever's happening that day is the song that we're going to make with them. It's not supposed to be some grand retrospective of your life in pictures and tearful. It's supposed to be something where we can sit with them, talk with them, and come up with a song that is particular to the moment that they're in right now. And I'm very excited about that project. I said I'd get into what our collaborative process looks like because I think that's where the interest is. I mean, all those facts are wonderful and data is great, but what do we actually do with the families? We give them some materials to help them organize their thoughts. We call it a lullaby journal, and it's sort of like guided scrapbooking. It has some prompts where they can write down nicknames that they use for their babies. They can write down experiences they've had, things they're hoping for. But one of the things that we find gets the most traction with our families is a letter to a baby. We ask families if they would like to write a letter to their baby that their baby would read when they are an adult. So something that you want to tell them but much, much in the future. And a lot of our families really like to write those letters, and we have written many songs directly from those letters, which is really beautiful. When we meet with the families, we generally meet with them one-on-one. So you can imagine it's a teaching artist and a mom or a dad, or maybe sometimes both a mom and a dad. Sometimes kids are in the room. Sometimes it's absolute chaos. The best songs come out of the chaos. And we work with the families to tease the melodies out of their words. So we ask them to read their letter, and we listen for when their voice goes up, when their voice goes down. What words do they linger on? Those are the important places. And then we build the song around those moments. So we really are building that song with them, not for them. It's not something that we're just interviewing families and then we go write a song and give it to them as a present. It's their song, and they're involved at every step of the process. We produce a final recording for every family, and we do then professionally record a handful of the songs. We can't record all of them professionally, but we record a few of them. And every family also gets what we call a lead sheet. So if you're a musician, you know what a lead sheet is. It's just words and some chords. We generally don't provide them with sheet music, although sometimes we do. And it gives them a chance to be able to sing that song with their family at home. And if somebody plays guitar or piano, they can usually read the chords and make that happen. We also celebrate all of those collections of songs. As I mentioned, we just finished our residency at Meritor at the Baby Hour, and we wrote 18 songs with 18 families. And on January 25th, we will bring those families together again, as many of them as can come together, and we will have a celebration where we let them share with each other their song. So they'll play the song for the other folks who have written songs and celebrate the experience that they had, have a chance to talk about it. They can invite guests, and we make it a really fun experience for them. And then we take all of those songs and we load them online so that we can share them with the world. They're shared on a SoundCloud playlist, which I will give you the link to at the end of this talk. So, the letter. I want to share an example of how we get from a letter to a song in 4 weeks, because that's generally our timeline that we're working with is 4 weeks. We have 2 meetings with the family. In the first one, we ask a lot of questions. We maybe make a little bit of music. And at the second one, we're finishing up the song. And then those last 2 weeks, we're recording that song. But I'm going to read just a little bit of a letter that a mom wrote. And this was a mom that I worked with. And I'm going to read it to you because I want you to just kind of listen to a couple of key phrases, because then I'm going to play that song for you so that you can hear the lines that are directly from her letter that show up in the song. So this is mom's words exactly, unedited, completely the way she gave them to me. Dear Marlon, thank you for choosing me to be your mommy. I have dreamed of you all my life. I have wished and prayed for you and could not imagine you any different. I named you for your grandma who would have loved every bit of you and been so proud of you. I'm going to skip. to this section right here where she says, "You are asleep behind me right now, in the cradle that your grandpa built from my grandpa's tree. Whole generations of love are flowing into you every minute. I hope that you feel it, and I hope that we teach you how to share it with others. We are blessed with a big family and a wide village, and I hope that you never feel alone. May you be blessed." So that's her letter, and this is the song. Hopefully it's going to play.
Thank you for choosing me to be your mommy. I have dreamed of you all my life. I have wished and I have prayed, and I will love you every day. Whole generations of love are flowing every minute into you. I hope you feel it as I watch you sleep, as I watch you sleep in the cradle your grandpa built from my grandpa's tree. Marlon, you have your grandma's eyes. I gave you her name. She'd be so proud of you and would have loved every bit of you. And I know she watches over you all your life. Whole generations of love are flowing every minute into you. I hope you feel it as I watch you sleep, as I watch you sleep in the cradle your grandpa built from my grandpa's tree. May you be blessed. I promise to do my best to keep you safe. We are blessed with a big family, a whole wide village. We're never alone.
So I'm just going to, I know, it's hard to stop a song in the middle, but I think you get the idea, and I do want to leave some time for questions, so I'm just going to turn the volume down on that. But you can hear all of the places where those are Mom's words, right directly from her letter. Sometimes we don't change a single thing. We sit with them and we ask them, how would you sing that? If that was a line in a song, how would you sing it? And then we build the whole song around their idea. And I love that whole generations of love. That was one of the most magical lines that I've ever worked on. So I was very pleased to be part of that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So how do you find us? If people want to write lullabies, they obviously right now have to work through our community partners, and so they can contact Overture Center and get more information about who those partners are. But if you want to know more about the Lullaby Project and you want to listen to more of these 116 amazing songs, you can use that QR code to get to our SoundCloud playlist. If you're not a QR code person, don't worry. You can search SoundCloud and Overture Center and Lullaby Project, and you'll find it. It comes up. So you can also find our music on Spotify and Apple Music and other streaming services out there. We, like many musicians, we make no money on those streaming. It's like a half a cent. So stream away and share those streams. We love it when we find out that they're being shared. So, questions? I think and I'll put that QR code back up on the screen, but are there any questions?
That was easy, thank you.
Rebecca, thank you so much. Music was beautiful. And all of us know pretty well that their young families are in more stress than they have ever been, et cetera. And could you talk about how this program helps family with the stresses that they're in?
Sure. That's a great question. So how does this program help families that are under stress? That is one of the things that we're hoping to be able to target. As you can imagine, when we're working with our community partners, when we're working with girls at Capitol High, they're under a great deal of stress. When we're working with families that are in a support group for new parents, there's a great deal of stress. That's why they're there at that support group. And one of the things that we do is we listen. And just by sitting with the families and letting them tell us their story and making it the most important story in the room helps with managing their stress. Being able to say at the end of it, I made something. I mean, they obviously just made a baby, a real live human baby, but they had a part in a creative process that they didn't imagine was possible. That also gives them a sense of ownership over that object, which helps them to be able to celebrate and share. They're proud to share that song. And in the case of the young ladies that we're working with at Capitol High, it's a really amazing experience to watch their eyes open up and say, oh, you're not making me feel ashamed that they get so few chances to celebrate the fact that they are becoming mothers because they're made to feel like everything they've done that led them to that place is wrong, that when we come and sit with them and tell them how beautiful their baby is and how amazing they are as human beings, and here's a beautiful song that we're going to write together, it is magical. Does that answer your question? Oh, absolutely. Perfect.
This isn't a question, but I've been to the lullaby performances and sessions at Overture Center. Mm-hmm. And the musicians who do this, you and your compatriots, are such remarkable people. I just want you to know the love and interaction they have with parents, and you see it in the work, is truly unusual and remarkable. And I really want to thank you for all the great work you do.
Well, thank you. We love doing it. Thank you so much.
Well, I'll ask a question from that. Where do you find the musicians that help with this work?
Great, that's a great question, and we find them by putting ads on Indeed. Yeah, so it really is. We do advertise the positions, and I can only give you an example of how I ended up here because I started as a teaching artist, and when I got the job as a teaching artist to come in and work with the Lullaby Project, it was because I was searching one day. I was unhappy where I was, and I was like, what can I do that will be music and creative and in Madison? And, oh, look, there's a job at the Overture Center, writing music for families. I wonder if I could do that. And I said, I think I want to try. And that is the way many of our teaching artists come to us, is they see the ad and they say, I think I can do that. I think we have a question back here.
We're out of time.
You can talk to me
afterwards. Let's give another, I'm sorry, Oscar. Let's give another round of applause to Rebecca Redmann and the Lullaby Project. Honestly, thank you for creating such magic and beauty in this world. And my second thought is you are absolutely the first person, I think, in Rotary's history who did their entire presentation with a ukulele on their back. Hope you can join us next week, December 18th, our final meeting of the year. It's our annual holiday buffet. No program, so come on, enjoy the company of other Rotarians. Have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you soon.